This is our first experience with a screencast tutorial, so I'm using screencast software to capture what you're seeing on my tablet PC. So what you see on the computers in the Door Lab will always be a little bit different, and you'll just have to learn to look around in menus or to make some adaptations. So just for fun, for our first assignment, let's use a web application to make a little cartoon. So let's go to toondoo.com. You can see I've already been there. And I suggest that you do the sign up for free. I think you can perhaps create a cartoon without signing up, but I'm not sure you'll be able to save it. So you might want to do the sign up for free. And again, don't do the Toondoo Spaces. That's a pay for service. But let's have you sign up for a free account. So when you click on the sign up, you'll be asked to enter, and I'm sure you've done this many times. So use whatever email. You might want to use a free email account rather than your school email account, and then register. And I believe it's very quick, and then you'll be able to log in. All right, so I'm going to pause the video and log in. You'll see I'll just click here. So you'll see it's going to ask you for your username and a password. So I'll pause the video temporarily while I do that. So now I'm going to just click no, I don't want to save the password. So once you're into Toondoo, and again, you could log in, pause, create your account, and log in. And then once we're ready to go, if we hit this create button up here, or you can go to Toondoo Maker down here. So either of those places, but let's create a quick cartoon, and then as your assignment you'll be able to create a new and more original one. So during the video just follow along and do the steps as I do, and then you can experiment and try other features later. Alright, so I'm going to keep it simple, I'm going to do a 2-frame horizontal cartoon. You can later pick whichever of those you want to. And you can see that it gave me the 2 frames. And now it's a little irritating here on my computer. I'm just going to change my screen a little bit so I get a scroll bar. So on the desktop computers you might be able to see a little bit more. And if we look here at these pull-down menus, I can later on open cartoons I've already done. I can save them. You can share them, email them to friends, or you can print them later. So once we do a save, once we have a cartoon, we'll get an option here to print it as well. All right, so we've got some characters, and notice when I pick one of these, then I get a whole bunch of characters in that sequence. So here if I pick, I get lots of different choices of characters. And let's right away just see how quick and easy this is. I think, and notice we've got even more characters here to pick from. So you could choose any of these options, and you can see that there's plenty when you look at all of those different menus, and I'm not going to waste our time looking at all of them during the video, so I'm going to go back, and here I think this will look like me talking to you. So there's an example of how quickly you can pull in a pre-built character, and we can put backgrounds in. So if I'm going a little too fast here. First I have to pick to get the choices, and these become backgrounds. So you'll see if I put this in as the background, and of course I can undo, just hit this delete button here if you change your mind. So we'll save that for a little bit later. And here I've got choices of how I can do text boxes, and I really have not played with this very much. So you'll see when you're doing this, you'll be doing exactly what I'm doing. So I'm going to click this option, and drag it in, and it becomes a text box. So I will say, you will enjoy computer applications. And notice if you want to change how that's divided, I'm just going to get my cursor back here and put a return. And if I click here and put a return, so very easily you can go back and change your mind about how these work. I can click and drag it around, and I think I can grab the tip of this arrow and have it point more here. I might, to make this clear that this is your computer science teacher, I might go to one of these is props, clip art, and here's one for props. So let's see, this looks like it might be furniture, sure enough. So this might look like a teacher's desk. So let's pull that in. And you've got choices. Notice it's the selected item. So down here in the toolbox, shrink is one of the options. So I might do this. I might drag her around. So it's not very sophisticated, but very easy to use. And I can move my pointer here. All right. There's a lot more we can do with ToonDo. We can make characters. So if I go to, and let me scroll down a little bit here so you can see, we've got this trait option here, and you can pull in pictures. I'm not exactly sure if it tries to do something with this picture or not. You can actually upload your own pictures here. I can choose what I want down here, random female, random male. So if I click random male, gives me some different choices. Let's see if we can find one that looks like it could pose as one of you guys. They look like some pretty nefarious characters here. You can change their characters. You can change their characteristics, that is. So, for example, if I live with this guy, notice what I can do here. I can rotate his head. I think we probably have options to change. So right here it looks like this is going to change his beard. So if I pick here, now he has no beard at all, or we can go back to whatever of the options and notice again that there's more choices. So I'm going to do no beard, so this looks more like a student. And if I click up here on his hair, it kind of knew what I was talking about, so it's giving me a choice. And so there's lots of options here of what kind of hair we might want. Let's just try this and see what happens. So you can experiment, and again, I don't want to use all of our time on our video. I think I kind of liked him having a little bit more interesting hair. So, all right, there we go. How about that? All right, and now watch if I click on this guy's eyes. You got different choices for the kind of eyes, but here's what I think is fantastic. Once I choose the type of eyes that I have, now I can have his eyelids closing a little bit, closing some more, all the way closed, and so on. So I'm going to go back to the open eyes, and I can save these. I can make it public so other users can use it, but of course I haven't put in enough time that I want to share that with others. So I'm going to call this my student character. Well, maybe I should put male student. And this is going to be saved in your gallery. So it takes a second here. And then we can go to the gallery, or you can create another. So notice you also had a choice to make profile characters for yourself here. All right, so now here's this guy that I just created, and I will drag him in. He was a good choice. Looks like he's going to gym class. Maybe I should have dressed him a little nicer. And your traits, you could have clicked on his shirt and his pants. to give him different style of clothes. So we'll just assume I caught you on the way to basketball practice. And notice when I have this guy selected here, I can again do some things with his eyes. So I'm going to right away drag him over into my next section, and here we'll give him some different kinds of eyes. So we'll have him look a little, and here we can go with his mouth. We'll have him, maybe we'll go with the whatever eyes. I didn't think too much here which we should do. All right, so that might look like he's speaking there. All right, so we can quickly, you'll be able to experiment with this a lot more. Remember that you can put in backgrounds, and you can upload your own images, of course, so you can do even more. Let's see what some choices are here. If we want some just artistic backgrounds, this maybe, I don't know, doesn't look much like a school, but I bet if we search through here, and once we got familiar with all of these different backgrounds, maybe buildings, looks more like he's out in the woods, but that's okay. You've got the right idea here. You'd be out on the golf course, so let's just give him a happy place here as his background. Oh, he's in the mountains. All right, wherever you want to make this guy, and then we can go back to our captions. Here's our text, and you can see I haven't used this enough to be very familiar. I don't remember which one I used last time. You might want to keep them similar. So we'll have him say, okay, I guess I'll try my best to do well this semester. And notice again, I wasn't out of habit, I wasn't hitting any returns, but I can go back and do that later. And we can grab and we can change this however, wherever we want to put it. So we could move him around. Remember, click on tools when we're in the tools. There's also, if you go to the doodler, you can also get brushes. So if you wanted to paint or write something on your own. And of course, there's a clear button for the last thing that you do. All right, so I'm going to get back to my hand tool here so we can make it look like it's this guy talking. And I don't particularly like the options it's giving me. But again, if you resize, oops, I don't want to resize that. I think we have a choice to change the shape. At some point I thought it gave me corners to grab, but I'll let you experiment to find that. So we'll call this good enough so you have the idea that you could create whatever kind of cartoon. And then when you are ready, you can go back to your menu here and you can click Save, and we'll give it a title. So I'm going to call this video example, and you could put whatever you want. You could give this tags, so you've got the choice here. If you got into this site with other folks who like this, you could work on each other's selling the cartoon. I don't think anybody's going to want to do that. And I'm going to keep this private, but notice there's a box here that you could email it to friends. And then I'm going to publish it to create this. And then I get a choice to print the cartoon. Okay? And you can print your cartoon once you create an original one. Go back to our Moodle page to see what your assignment is. And it's just to experiment and play around and have some more fun with Toon-Do. And that's all there is to it.